Hi and welcome. My name is Tolan and I am the co-founder of Productivity Me. In this video, we're going to look at the formula bar a little bit more in depth than we have in the previous section of the course. So if you're interested, join us for that. If you want to follow along, we'll be using exercise file 02.05. You can download this exercise file by going to the description portion of this video and clicking on the link. Clicking on the link will allow you to download this file and you should be good to go. All right, so earlier in the course, we discussed the idea of 5 or 6 major components of the Excel interface, that of the quick access toolbar here, the Excel ribbon, we mentioned the formula bar, the active part of your worksheet, then the individual worksheets that you might have would be displayed here, and then our status bar. Now, when you click into an individual cell, if something is in that cell, it will appear in the formula bar. So currently we have a little chart which indicates the sales of 4 different quarters for these individual regions, and then at the bottom we have a total. Now we could of course hard code or manually input the individual values like we did for quarter 1. We have the north, south, east, and west. And when you click in an active cell, when you have that active cell, you will see the number or the text that inherently appears in that. And then this actual individual value may be different than the appearance on the screen. So this looks like $110,462. And when you click here in the formula bar, you can see it's actually just a numeric value of $110,462 or $110,462. Now, you can have individual items such as numeric values here, or perhaps text, which would appear in the formula bar, or you could actually have a summary. So if we were to move our cursor here to cell C7, in C7 there's actually a formula. So that formula is essentially just saying, well, we're going to take this value and we're going to add it to this value, and we're going to add it to the east region, and then we're going to add it to the west region. And that would essentially give us a formula, essentially these individual values. And it's the end result of adding these 4 values here is $584,925. So the formula bar is a great way to see whether you have a specific hard-coded value or specific individual value like you have here is just a numeric static value, or if you have some form of formula or some form of calculation done in the cell. And in this case, the cells of C7, D7, E7, and F7 all have formulas. If you wanted to edit that formula, you can bring your cursor up to the formula bar, and then you could click and you could say change it to F5, or maybe you decide that you want to keep it at F6, and you would make your entries, or you would go ahead and click this little icon here, and that would enter the data in your formula bar. So in summary, there are 2 possible scenarios. You can either have a value in a cell that is the same as what appears as the result, such as this case, 175,711, or you can have some form of formula or some form of calculation which would perhaps add up or subtract multiple cells like we do here. And then once you input that information and change your active cell from that cell that you're in to another cell, the result will appear. So in this case, it would be $590,338. So relatively straightforward. As we progress through the course, we'll be using the formula bar a lot, and we just wanted to describe the individual components of the formula bar and how you can click on an active cell, see what calculation or what value gives you the displayed value, and then move on from there. So with that, in the next video, we're going to look at the idea of the status bar down here. We'll discuss the idea of the 4 different major components of the status bar and how you can use them to more effectively use and get things done in Microsoft Excel. So join us for that next video, and we will see you again soon. As always, thanks for watching.